Hello artists! This week we are going to work again on our line landscapes, and we are going to take them from looking like this to looking like this. And the key for this is going to be blending and craftsmanship. So let's get started. Alright, what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be using blending with our colored pencils, which means mixing colors together. And each section that you've made is going to be a different color or group of colors. I also want to show you how best to use your colored pencils. You can't just use the end and scribble all over because you'll leave a lot of white space and that won't look very good in the end. It's going to look the best if you're able to fill it in completely, which means you're going to want to use kind of the side of the colored pencil when you're coloring in your space. So let's go ahead and see how it will look. I would like to blend two colors now. And what I can't do is I can't pick two colors that are way far apart from each other on the color wheel or in the rainbow. So I need to pick some colors that are similar to one another. If I pick red and blue, they're not going to mix very well. If I pick red and yellow, that might be all right. Or green and yellow, or green and blue, purple and blue, even purple and red will be all right. So let's go ahead and choose two colors. And we'll start with this tree here. And I'm going to start at the top with one color. I'm holding it on its side like this so that I can cover more space. You actually don't want your colored pencils to be super duper sharp for this because the point will just break off. So once I've got it partially colored down here and I'm really filling in every amount of space so that there's no white space, then I'm going to introduce my second color and I'm going to overlap. I'm going to overlap so that the two colors for part of it are on top of each other. And then when I get down here, I'm going to push really hard so I can see the difference between those two colors. Colored pencils also respond really well when you use different pressures on them. So pressing really hard versus doing it really lightly. Let's do the trunk now. I don't know if I have a good brown here, so I've got a brown over here. So let's go ahead and do this trunk brown that is a little bit realistic. And I'm pressing nice and hard, but on the side, not using the point of the colored pencil. So that's one method, going from lighter to darker, overlapping two colors. Let's choose two colors that are a little bit more different. Let's choose light green and turquoise. And what I'm going to do here, because I've got rows, is I'm going to go every other. So that wasn't blending, but that was using two colors in the same space. How about now we'll go with maybe an orange and a yellow. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to go over the whole thing with one color lightly and then go over the whole thing again with the other color lightly to see how that technique works. Alright, I'm okay with how that looks, but that peach wasn't a very dark color, so I might try a brighter orange and put a third color on top. I like how that looks now. It reminds me kind of a field of corn. Now what I'm going to do for the next one is I'm going to show you a technique in one of these empty spaces where I just take one color, but I go from light to dark. So it will look similar to this since these colors were so similar, but it's a little bit of a different technique. So I'm hardly pressing down at the top and I'm just trying to go super light, and then I'll go darker. I also want you to notice that I'm always going in the same direction. I'm not changing directions and going this way and this way, diagonal, vertical, horizontal. I'm trying, except for along the edges where I need to fill in, I'm trying to do mostly in the same direction. That's going to help you to not see so much the lines of your pencil. Alright, let's try a cloud, and let's try it with turquoise and this blue here, and we'll mix those together, blending it together in the middle. For the sun, for example, you might want to start with a color in the center since it's a circular shape. And you might want to do a circle, fill it in, and then slowly move outwards with other colors. You can overlap a little bit, go on probably just go over them, over the Sharpie, because the Sharpie's gonna show through no matter what. Doing two similar colors on top of each other will fill in any white spaces that you have left. Alright, so I'm going to finish coloring and you can watch if you want, but I do want you to use some of these blending techniques in your line